Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a spoon. It's going to be a pretty straightforward video. We've got some tongs here, we've got our hammer, we've got our anvil, like always. I've got a piece of 1/4 inch by 1 inch flat bar. I've got about 3 inches. How much you want to use just depends on how long you want the spoon handle and how big you want the spoon bowl. You can use thicker, you can use wider, really just depends on what you're making. I like this size for a nice soup spoon. And then we're getting out the spring fuller again today, and I'll show you where we're going to be using that when we get to it. We're going to go ahead and jump right in.
I start by forging one end of the bar into a taper, and when tapering a piece that's wide and pretty thin like this, you can see every few hits, I'm going to turn it, lay it flat, and hammer out any bending or unevenness. I really don't want that to curl over on itself as it goes. If I don't do this periodically as we go, then it's going to be too late to fix later on, and it's going to cause cold shuts. And once I get the handle end forged down as much as I can with the taper, I'm going to get out the spring fuller, and this will allow me to isolate that handle section that I want to forge down away from the head of the spoon, and then I can finish forging down the handle without messing with the head. Once the head is isolated from the handle using the fuller, I'm going to go back to the flat of the anvil and finish forging the handle down. The final size and shape of the handle is really just a matter of preference. For this one, I'm going to forge it down to about 3/16 round, and then I'll put a nice little scroll on the end just to take away the pointy bit. Now with the handle done, it's on to shaping the head of the spoon. Right now it's pretty square and I want to make it round, so I'm going to knock down the corners using the far edge of the anvil and some angled blows. The shape you have when you start thinning down the head is pretty much the shape that you're going to have when the head is done, so you want to make it round first, don't try and do it afterwards. With the head roughly rounded out, I'm going to switch over to a rounding hammer. That way the steel will spread evenly in all directions. And I'm going to start by working my way around the outside edge, then work towards the middle. You get a lot longer heat this way versus working towards the middle, thinning that out, and then out to the edge. Now, like I said, the shape that you have when you start thinning it out is the shape that you're going to end up with. Mine wasn't quite round enough, so here I'm just going back over the corners to fix that up so that it's not quite so square. And on the next heat, I'm going to continue doing the same thing over the edge of the anvil. I just want to round this up a little bit more. Once the head is all thinned out, it's time to dish it. Dishing is the process of making it from flat to bowl shape. And there's a few common ways to do this here. I'm just going to put it over the hardy hole and then use the ball peen side of my rounding hammer just to lightly press that steel down into the open space underneath. And I'll just move it around to make sure that it goes evenly, and then I will have a spoon. And depending on the type and size of spoon that you want to make, you can also do this step on the end of a wooden post or a stump, or using a swage block. And the last step here is to just adjust the handle to its final shape. This is another step that depends entirely on your preference, what you want to use the spoon for. Just go with what feels good. A little bit of cleanup and it's all done. If you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe so you can see more, and leave a comment down below with other things you'd like to see me make.